We're ready.
Let's roll.
Ready? We ready, Freddie?
We're ready. Come on.
Where are we going?
What? I was stressed.
I just learned how to do the chair movement.
Okay, we're gonna call the personnel, like I said, committee meeting. Clerk Haley, can you take a roll call, please?
Alderman Schmidt,
Here.
Alderman Tom Grady,
Here.
Alderman Ted Grady,
Here.
Alderman Rapella,
Here.
Alderman Nichols,
Here.
Alderman Taylor.
Here.
Alderman Sevenick,
Here.
Alderman Langdon,
Here.
Mayor Marcus,
Here.
all are present.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for the minutes to be approved in the last meeting.
I'll move to approve the personnel committee minutes of April 20th.
Second.
We got a motion by the mayor and a seconded by Alderman Nichols. All those, any discussion? All those in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. All right, Director Adam, it's up, we're gonna have you, since you're on this great pedestal right now.
Get it started and then we'll look at two individuals.
I know you got a vision plan here of, what you wanna kinda do with the engineering, so you wanna elaborate on that?
Sure. So let me start by saying we're not trying to be presumptive in where my vacancy may go. This is something that Deputy Director Gordon and myself have been talking about for the last 2 years as to how we feel the engineering department should be structured, how it should operate, how it should function, and then if any of you know from my experiences out at the garage, I'm all about, I guess, professional growth, provide opportunities for our staff, and especially more so now with some of the difficulties that we've had in finding qualified candidates and if we get them, to retain those candidates. So what we're trying to do here, and Corey's experienced it firsthand, when, we want some structure, but not so rigid that it kind of handcuffs us to a certain extent. So what we're looking for is we're not looking for additional people. What we're looking for is, some sort of these job descriptions that sort of point out different levels of knowledge and skill and value to the city and the department, and then be able to use them, have them be like a tool, a mechanism, a method for us to manage the people, the department, make sure that we have qualified individuals there, and then hopefully retain them through their career here, and that they can be part of the next level of leadership and management here. So that's what we're looking at. Comment?
I guess from my point, Laura and I have both talked, and we see a need potentially for another tech type person, a field person to help with those duties out there and assist with that. And having this structure gives us the availability to post the position and not try to narrow it down to this is what we're specifically looking for. Is we have the availability to, hey, we have this range of positions that we could potentially take the best candidate that comes available to us. And with Adam's retirement and things of that nature, we have that flexibility because we believe we're going to be saving some money, salaries and wages and things of that nature. So we have the opportunity to kind of get anyone from a Tech 1 to a Tech 4 type, and potentially even a civil engineer type position. So it's, when prior to hiring Laura, we went quite a while without trying to hire someone, and the candidate pool was small, where having the flexibility gives us that. personal level or personal experience, you know, when I started here, I started out in that A2, Tech 2 type position, you know, and I've been able to grow to different positions. And there has been frustrating points along that line where, you know, I didn't feel I was being able to progress fast enough because, hey, we don't have a position for you to move to. Where this gives us that flexibility when individuals are coming in and they're excelling at stuff, we have the availability to start bumping them forward through job reviews and things like that, where we can document that stuff and we can show that these individuals are improving and taking on the responsibility that we want them.
So, I guess to put that much shorter, the current job descriptions were based upon the union mentality of through longevity, you move up the ranks. The new job descriptions are based upon through improving your skill set, you move up to the ranks because you're more valuable to the community. That kind of sum it up.
Correct.
Any other further discussion before I entertain a motion? Is this something that we want to act on then, since this is discussion/action items? I think we should probably make a motion for it, if somebody wants to entertain that. I'll make the motion then.
Who's the vice chair?
I can make the motion. Randy? Yeah, you could. No, Randy's.
I'm not.
Who's the vice chair? Rebecca. I'll make the motion then for the engineering technical revisions as stated in the handout from Director Adam Alex and Deputy Director Corey Gordon and our civil engineer Laura Legaworth. Second. Questions? Pam?
So is that, the changes from, the positions currently are engineering aides. So they would be going to engineering tech. And there would be a 1, 2, 3, 4 compared to the 1, 2, 3 that we currently have. And then we would also need, and including the pay rates.
No.
Are there adjustments to these pay rates from what they currently are?
No. So
But
the existing
but
position.
there's additional positions, so
Correct,
that
so there is a
would be
lower
a pay rate.
entry-level position, and it's proportionate to what the current rate is
Engineering aid 1,
for the engineering aid 2 and 3. You make mention about the engineering tech or engineering aid 1. When I requested job descriptions, I only got 2 and 3. I don't know if it would appear as though that the 1 at some point vanished. Okay, so I'm trying to bring that back in, or we are, and then we're looking at a Tech 4 then as well, based on the descriptions that we sort of shared there with you. As far as the wages go,
so it would be adding or
1 and
changing the
4.
title from aid to tech and adding engineering tech 1, engineering tech 4, along with the pay rates.
Correct.
Okay.
Any questions in regards to the pay rate?
Well,
All right, before.
I think, I need to see a picture, okay? For example, because now I'm confused based on Attorney Captain's question. Is this the same number of positions we have now, just with new names? Or are we adding positions? And so what I'm looking for is to be able to better identify what the current structure is, right? So aid Well, yeah, but an explanation isn't the same as seeing a picture. I have this explanation, but something's unclear to me. So an org chart with what we have now and what's being proposed.
This is being recommended to the council, so maybe for the next meeting, we should have that.
That would be helpful.
Okay.
Thank you. My second question has to do with the job description. And I think what's really clear is how the responsibilities and abilities and skills progressed through each level. Help me understand why, let's see, positions, requirements, and qualifications or certificates, license, and registration wouldn't become more relevant as you progress.
Point of order.
Not reflecting on you.
Tell me why those things wouldn't change as you move through the different levels.
That they do when you get to the civil engineer. So what we're looking at is ideally, well, in a real or perfect world, maybe is we hire somebody as an engineering tech one. Okay, and they at least have an associate's degree. And that person can, with an associate's degree, still become PE. So they can get there, all right? But then within this engineering tech 1 to 4, it's really the same basis or the same educational level to get yourself in the door. It's not to say that we're not going to take somebody with a bachelor's degree. You know, I mean, that.
But then let's take the education part off the table and talk about certificates, license, and registrations. For one of them, scroll up here, engineering tech 3, there is an additional certification for State of Wisconsin Soil Erosion Inspector. So that's the only one with an additional certificate required. Why wouldn't that certificate also be required for engineer tech 4, since their responsibilities also include stormwater?
I don't disagree with that logic. That probably makes sense. That in the tech 4 role, because we do reference the fact that 4 should be capable of doing 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with that. That would be an oversight against that.
So then would there be, it surprises me that that would be the only additional certification to move through the ranks, but I'm not familiar.
That's what we're requiring at this point. But there again, we always have that caveat in there, you know, that equivalent combination education experience, providing the knowledge, abilities, and skills listed, you know, to be able to do the job for it.
So and I believe in the idea of hiring someone at entry level and moving them through the ranks. At the same time, I believe we have to be willing to invest in their training. And so is that something that we do?
We offer it. We have offered it. So, and
There's a number of us that have gone through different training, whether it be Autodesk Civil 3D, you know, our computer programs that we use for design, to stormwater trainings, a number of different things, you know, in that area. Because we are a small department, there are going to be things that other individuals are maybe trained in that maybe I'm not, or I'm trained in things that they're maybe not. For all of us to overlap in, say, traffic signals, fairly technical end of things, you know, I have a basic understanding of that, but Charlie in the department right now has a much better understanding. That's his thing. More in tune to that than myself, as an example, where the erosion control and the certification and things of that nature, you know, that's more my niche and not so much his niche. Not to say he doesn't have a basic understanding. All be 100% trained in a small department, you know, you overlap, but it's.
Well, and cross-training is a good idea.
And it seems like the union mentality was that was my position, that's what I did, so I got trained in that. And the rest of you guys, you know, don't worry about it, because it was longevity that got you to that point instead of obtaining the skills, the education, and the experience. And that's what we're trying to change that, I guess.
Well, and this is my last question, when I look at what's proposed, Tech 1, 2, 3, 4, that reminds me of that hierarchy. But I think what I'm hearing is that we could possibly have more than one Tech 2 or more than one Tech 3, not a Tech 1.
Point in case, right now, we have 2 engineering 3, 8 3. That's it. We don't have a 2. The 2 is vacant. Attorney Captain made mention or reference to the 8-1. When I went looking for the most recent job description, I can't find one.
Haven't had one.
Right. So right now, you know, we have if you look, you do have an 8-2 position and an 8-3 job description, but the 8-2 is vacant. We have 2 8-3s. So, I mean, that's what we're saying. We can do this under this structure, but and when I say structure, because we've had some discussions over the years with the guys out there to provide opportunities for this growth out there in the operations and the things, but we need some sort of structure. I mean, we need some sort of structure to make sure it's not because I like this person or I like that person. There needs to be measurables of some sort of metrics that we can sort of, when we do our evaluations, and we've started doing that, we sit down on an annual basis and we can point out these are the things that you need to do and become knowledgeable in before that, you know, as you move your way up.
Okay, so I lied. Something you said gave me one more question.
Okay.
We have 2 a certain position right now, but Tech 2 you said is open. How do we make sure that, or do we need to make sure that we have a set number of positions or a set number of, I'm going to say, staff members? Because that doesn't necessarily align with the position, number of positions.
Right now.
So, budget. Okay. I just have to make sure there's a mechanism for that, because if we don't have a Tech 1, but we have the same amount of staff, we don't want to say, oh, we think we need a Tech 1, and we're going to throw out
That's another thing that we've had this discussion as to, you know, I mean, what do you guys understand? And you know, Attorney Captain and I, we spent a little bit of time talking about that because she had so many questions. Like, what are you asking for more people? And it's like, well, no, not really. So, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
What I am proposing, not here, but amongst department heads, is that each year prior to getting the budget together, that there actually be a organizational chart for each department. And the number and name of positions to be filled the following year need to be approved through the Personnel Committee and the Common Council. And that would avoid, you know, somebody just sticking something in the budget and not really recognizing if there's a change in positions, so that the council would be selecting the positions that are going to be filled, and the department head would have to explain, you know, okay, this year or, you know, the next 5 years, we're going to be filling the Tech 3, Tech 4, or whatever. Or we'll have 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, based on the needs of the city. So we do not have that right now. We don't have any really organizational charts. There have been a few since I've been here, when changes are being made. And if it'll just be for a specific, you know, department, or maybe just for part of a department. So I think that would then suffice for the council to ensure that, you know, whatever positions they understand we currently have or had.
Yeah, I'd like to see an organizational chart for, many of the departments, recreation, park and rec, the street department, all of those should have an organizational chart. I always thought we had one, but I guess we didn't, so.
Any other discussion? Alderman Nichols?
Thank you, I'm good. Thank you for your patience.
No, those are good, valid questions, because it's a new vision, it's a new thought process, and I think this structures it pretty nice for out there at the garage and stuff, so. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Let's take a roll call.
Alderman Schmidt? Alderman Schmidt?
Aye.
Alderman Tom Grady?
Aye.
Alderman Ted Grady?
Aye.
Alderman Rapella?
Aye.
Alderman Nichols?
Aye.
Alderman Taylor?
Aye.
Alderman Sevenick?
Aye.
Alderman Langdon?
Aye.
Mayor Marcus?
I,
Motion carries 9-0.
That's, entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Anybody, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Good night, all.
So that's it, right? I can turn off my computer.